Cool. Make sure we live here on YouTube. We're good on YouTube. Wow. So, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, all depending on where you're located. Back here with another one, USFL League Presents, the Owner's Box, the only PS4 Madden live talk show that I know of that exists here in the Madden community. And if we're not, then I feel like we're number one anyway, so it doesn't matter. Here with my co-host, Ty. What's going on, good brother?
Man, just tune in to this damn Giants Bears. Giants are doing what the Giants do to start off 3-0. Offensive line looking shaky, but that's all right. That's neither here nor there. That's in the background. Heading into week 9.
Right. So I do want to talk about, before we get into anything with the league, how do you feel about the patch notes and anything like that, like the updated patches and some of the changes that have been made with this last update?
So far, so good. Now, I started tinkering around. Well, one of the things I think was cool, they added some new sets on offense. Basically, they have a Taysom Hill package. For those that don't know, Taysom Hill is like he's like a third-string quarterback the Saints used in a bunch of these weird packages to run RPOs and quarterback sneaks and jet sweeps. Well, one of the patches was on offense. They updated a lot of the playbooks with Taysom Hill-like slot packages. So there's about 4 or 5 formations that got updated with a Taysom Hill package.
Yeah.
On defense, they got a nickel triple defensive formation and a nickel 2-4-5 odd defensive formation added. So I've been tinkering a little bit, not too much, with the new offenses. I mean, the new formations, just kind of seeing how they work, but definitely not going to be surprised to see a bunch of people in the league all of a sudden a nickel triple or nickel 2-4-5 odd. In terms of anything else, I didn't really see anything else that affected gameplay or that's pertinent, aside from the fact that some new X factors, which really, because our franchise is preset, any of the new X factor abilities, actually, no, they should still affect us. Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of my take on the patches. You?
Well, for me, I am already starting to run that nickel triple. I like it. I jumped on it. I added it as soon as it got launched. I went right in, added it to my custom book. I like it because the alignment is kind of different and how you can place like safeties and different people in different positions. And then when you split it things like that. What's that old formation that used to be in the old man, like with the red dog? Remember how they used to have like the red dog?
It was Big Nickel. Me and you talked about this before.
Big Nickel Bear. Remember that? It's like the Big Nickel Bear. That's what it reminds me of.
That's what a Big Nickel Bear.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like when I show blitz, like depending on how you do it, like they'll line up and it feels like the Big Nickel Bear, which I love. So it has some holes in it. I wish I had a cover for it. It doesn't have a cover for in it. But other than that, it's, I've been playing around with it. I like it. It'd be interesting to see who gets that first Omaha X Factor for their quarterback.
Yeah, the Peyton Manning.
That Peyton Manning one, that seems pretty dope. And we still haven't seen the other one, the one that Ray Lewis has in our league yet.
Yeah.
Their last patch where it can like knock out all the other X Factor abilities and put everybody on their team in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be really good to see those two, hopefully come into the league here soon. But other than that, that Taysom Hill thing, I don't think the only person I really feel like can benefit from that is with the Ravens with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's been pretty cool. I know you don't watch NFL, but the Ravens been running this package called the Heisman package, where it's Lamar Jackson, Robert Griffin 3, and Mark Ingram about a 6. It's basically a overhyped triple option, but obviously with all 3 of those dudes being threats to carry the rock, it really kind of trips up the defense. So it'd be kind of cool to see that come. The Heisman package.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they do have that in their Did they add that to them? Did they add that to their playbook, that Heisman package?
No.
No, just the Tyson Hill stuff, right?
Yeah, but that's when the Ravens just started doing it in real life. So that's what I was saying. Maybe in a patch down the line we could expect it, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty solid if they do that as well. Other than that, man, I feel like it's been pretty standard. Nothing really that's game changing in the franchise world, at least in our league anyway.
Yeah.
You want to get into the week 5 to week 9 recap?
Yeah, we can knock it out.
So this name of this episode is The Last One Standing, and I named it because Boone apparently is the last undefeated team so far in this year. Shout out to him and the Bears. He's really turned it around. We are always ragging on him and Trubisky not being the guy. This year he seems to be trying to prove me wrong.
Well, I'm gonna correct you. We ain't always ragging on him.
Trubisky.
Oh, I thought you said we. I was like, nope.
Me.
He's proving my point. I said he was the dude, and he's doing his thing.
Yeah. I mean, he does. I think that Kamara trade helped him a lot. Helped him open up some things. Carson now staying healthy helps. He just did get that move, Antonio Brown move from the Raiders.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a good trade. He gets 1 year out of Antonio Brown. The Raiders has an option to either sign Miller or get him for 1 good year. I feel like it was a good move. It helps him win now in this situation. So I think the Bears are really doing their thing. Who you impressed with? Aside from the Bears, who you impressed with these last couple of weeks?
Well, just real quick in regards to the Bears, I mean, it does help with Kamara and Carson being healthy, but the biggest thing that I feel with Boone is his X factors are playing like X factors. Like Eddie Jackson's contributing steadily, Khalil Mack's being Khalil Mack, Kyle Fuller is making timely plays. So when you combine that with the fact that I really feel like Boone's scheme is clicking, his game calling, the way he's calling the game, the plays he's calling, and his executing of the plays is, I think, why he's just really been a handful. But all that's all on him, so that's definitely props to him. Who else has been impressing me? Kurt today, knocking off Skills. Skills is definitely a top player in the league. Kurt went in there, I didn't see the game, got the dub. I seen all the backlash in the chat, but it surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me because, like I put in the game chat a little while ago, I've said now for I don't know how many owners boxes, when Kurt feels like playing somebody other than me or you or Boone, he's good. He's a problem. It's just a matter of if he feels like playing. So that's an impressive win. Don Joe beat Cletus twice this season. That's very impressive to me. It gives him a nice tiebreaker in the division. He's playing a top player in Cletus, so having to play that dude, and then definitely getting 2 wins. Don Joe's been real impressive. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Yeah, those are the 3 I'd say. Definitely Boone. Definitely Boone. I thought Kurt's win over Skills was impressive, and then just from a consistency standpoint, Don Joe.
Yeah. It's funny because I tell Don Joe all the time, like, you could beat Cletus. Like, you guys pretty much run the same style of offense where they're like really conservative. They really don't turn the ball over. I was like, you guys match it really well. I was like, the only difference is late in the game, he just might outsmart you on a play or two, and then the game breaks open. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing there is something I said earlier. I think Don Joe, okay, and I ain't saying this in a negative way, but it's going to sound negative. Cletus is a bully, right? He's bullied everybody in that division. He hasn't had anybody stand up to him. A few years ago, we thought it might have been Strong. Once Strong got hit in the mouth a few times, Strong did like a turtle and retracted back into his shell.
Right.
And mentally, Cletus has real estate in Strong's head. I think the same thing was happening with Don Joe. Don Joe took some losses to Cletus, not just regular losses, some really bad blowouts. And I think mentally, Don Joe started to have that in his head that he couldn't get past Cletus. He was rage blowing up his team. But I think this season he came out with a different attitude. He built the team the way he wanted. And I think mentally he's in them games. And I've always said the key to beating Cletus, and it's not just Cletus, the key to beating any of these top tier players you want to consider is mentally staying in the game. You're going to have adversity. Perfect example, Boone's game against Dre. Awesome game to watch. There was a few times in that game I felt Boone could have folded. Boone was up 6-0 and dominating that first half. Dre comes down and gets a touchdown right before the half for it to go to 7-6. That's the key moment in the game, because a lot of people would fold because they played their best football, they dominated, they led most of the half, and you're going into the half losing. But in that moment, those are the times when you're mentally tough. If you can stick with what you're doing and persevere and weather the storm, whether you throw a pick, whether you have a kickoff return, a lot of times that's how you're going to beat these top guys. You just got to you got to play mistake-free. You got to call a good game, and you got to stick with it, even when it's not going your way.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because, well, not funny, but it's you mentioned that, and it's I told Don Joe too. Like I said, the difference is like I think we spoke about it too in the last one. Like Cletus treats them type of games against certain players like playoff games. It could be week one. Like to him, it's like a playoff game. So he's mentally playing it different. And I told Don Joe going forward, like you have to treat them 2 games with him every time like it's the playoff. Like damn it, like it's the Super Bowl. That's how he's gonna do it. And he's not gonna let up. He's not gonna, he's not gonna, like you said, like he's just gonna bully his way until somebody stands up. So it was good to see him do that this year twice. It was somebody else you mentioned too that
I said Kurt's win over.
Kurt's win over. And it's funny because I knew you were gonna say that. Like he plays to the level of his competition, right? It's like if he's a top tier guy, he'll show up sometimes, and then it's like the games we think he's gonna win, he doesn't win. So it's finally good to see him finally show up and play the game. Now, knowing that, can he turn it around and make that his division now? Like I can beat Skills, show you I can beat you. Is that enough motivation to get him to play for real, to play to his top, his level to try to win that division? Only he can answer that.
In my opinion, I say no. And just the reason why I say no, it doesn't have anything to do with his play. I just think that between work, I know he works a lot of hours with Prime. Recently married, not super recently, but still in that kind of honeymoon phase, because really from 0 to 5 years, you in that honeymoon phase still. Mm-hmm. I just think he enjoys a lot of activities outside the game. So I think the reason why I say no, it's not because his gameplay is fantastic. I just don't think he can lock in and commit to playing 18 games. Right. He's going to continue to pick and choose when he wants to play. He'll play the games that on a schedule that excites him. He'll play the games that he wants to challenge and rush from. But Madden is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I've said this for multiples of years. It's not how you start off. Yeah. It's grinding week in and week out. And that's the part where I think Kurt gets caught up. It's real easy to get motivated for a game against Bucks. It's easy to get motivated for a game against you. It's easy to get motivated for a game against me. It's not so much easy to get motivated for him for a game against Thang. And those are the games he won't play. And them losses and stuff will mount up in them sims. And, by the time he decides, hey, this is a game I'd like to play, a lot of times he's not in the position or the picture because he let too many other games go by the board. So that's why I say no. I need to see 18 games worth of dedication.
Yeah. No, you're pretty much right. I think you hit that on the head, right? I mean, I guess that could be said for a couple other guys, right? Like a Prime who has a lot of things, like just life, right? You just sum it up all in one word. Really, just life is happening right now, and it doesn't allow them to focus on that. I do feel like the Rams are playing solid. The Rams are playing solid. It's interesting to see, right? Because I feel like the Seahawks was playing very solid, and then I played them, and they lost to me, and then another loss behind that. Which again I thought he was pretty much going to win. Do you feel like there's just 2 bad losses, or he, maybe the tape is out on flex now? Like where he was once under the radar winning, now the blueprint has been shown. And
no, I don't feel that way. I feel something that I've said for a long time that's overrated, that's overlooked, that people don't focus on. And it's why I don't really buy into the I'm better than you shit. that a lot of y'all love to do because the game's about matchups. Perfect example. The last 2 times I played Flex, I'm not just talking about this league. The last like 2 or 3 times, Flex has beaten me. But Carolina obliterated him. But I obliterated Carolina. So if you go off the theory of, okay, so Flex beat me the last 2 or 3 times we played. So then Carolina beat him. So again, but then I beat Carolina. None of that has anything to do with I'm better than Flex or Flex is better than me, I'm better than Carolina. The matchups were favorable to the way we like to play the game. So when people get into these my dick is bigger than yours pissing contests in the chat, I always find that comical. Even when you win the Super Bowl, it doesn't necessarily mean, okay, you can say in a sense the person who wins the Super Bowl is the best player in the league. You can say that. But I guarantee you every single year, every single body wins the Super Bowl, they have their kryptonite in the league. So if Cletus wins the Super Bowl this year, but Don Joe beat him twice in division, does the Super Bowl necessarily mean that Cletus is better than Don Joe? Or does it mean that he got hot at the right time and he beat the people he had to beat because he had favorable matchups to the way he likes to play? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I don't really never buy into this I'm better than you shit, because there's really no way to prove it. And even for the people that say, hey, well, let's play an online ranked head-to-head. Okay, you might beat me. Luis Ortiz was beating Deontay Wilder 5 out of the 7 rounds last night. And then Deontay hit him with that right hand, and he went to sleep, and that shit was over. This shit is about matchups, just like boxing. So I don't think that, to answer your question, Flex is still that dude. He's still a good player. He just ran into some matchups that didn't favor him. Now he can't afford to keep losing because that division, the West, is a problem. Rams, Dre, Cards. He can't give up too many more games, but I think he's still good enough to do the thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we always talk about that matchup, right? Like we always compare it to boxing. I mean, you see that really a lot in the playoffs, right? Like if so-and-so places here, he plays here. Hopefully he beats him because then I could just play him. Kind of situation. For me, I always think like guys who will go low key under the radar have an advantage. Everybody. I don't know if a lot of people are watching Flex 980 games other than his division opponents.
That's another thing, right? You hit that right on the head. A lot of people ain't watching his games, and then I feel like this: the squeaky wheel gets the grease. There's a lot of people in the chat or the league, not a lot, a decent amount that like to talk. So they draw attention to themselves. And sometimes it's not about whether they're as good as they think they are or they're bad. But their names stay in your head because you constantly hear them pumping themselves up and talking. And then there's a lot of people, Flex never talks. Candy doesn't talk. Cletus doesn't talk. They just go and play their game. They just win and they do what they do.
Yeah, I agree.
I've said this a long time ago, right? When you're good at what you do, you have to run around all day going, hey, look at me. Look what I did. I just won. I'm the best. I'm this, that, and the third. When you're great, you don't have to say nothing. Somebody else is going to say it for you. Hey, that person right there, that's the dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, I guess, right? I mean, Muhammad Ali, he felt he was the greatest, and he ran his mouth all the time.
Yeah, and he took some bad losses too. Everybody
loses, though. Everybody loses.
But that's the point. Right. I'm saying, in a lot of, I mean, Michael Jordan never actually verbalized until after he retired. You'd hear him talk about him being the greatest. This guy right here, MJ, Kobe Bryant never verbalized, I'm the dude.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter never said, I'm the dude. Like other people said it for them. It's these second tier dudes that always got to run around. Hey, look, I'm the man.
Yeah. And again, like the conversation of who's the best and all that, it's all perspective. Like I don't consider Michael Jordan the greatest. You know what I'm saying? But now, that's my opinion, right? Like, it's my opinion. I mean, it depends on what it's based on. But I agree. Like, the whole I'm better than you, I guess we could really just say to sum it all up, it is really like a matchup thing, I guess.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Part of playing in this league is to have fun. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nobody shouldn't have fun, because I know sometimes a lot of people talk to have fun and stir up the chat and have fun, and that's okay, because we are doing this for fun. I'm just saying at the end of the day, everybody should feel like they're the best. Some people need to verbalize it, some people don't. But I guarantee you, 80% of the league feels they're the best. There's 20% of the league.
I know I wouldn't feel like I'm the worst, even if I was 1-16. I'm just like, you guys just have the advantage on me right now.
You see what I'm saying? Like, right. But and that's why I said realistically, everybody should feel that way. So it's not. Yeah, no matter who you are, you should feel that way. Because to me, honestly, when you don't feel that way, that's when you do lose.
Yeah.
Confidence, like, I really say that a lot of this game is about confidence, execution, and consistency. It's not about what buttons you're pushing. It's not about what players you have. I mean, again, I said this before. I said this last on this box, and it's not like because I'm saying it like in a way that's trying to clown anything. But arguably on paper, you and Pi have had the best teams all year. But between both of y'all don't have no Super Bowls. So that's not saying something to slight y'all. What I'm saying is it's great to have good players and it's great to have talent, but there's a lot of other things that go into winning besides who you have on the field, what buttons you're pushing, and what plays you're running. There's a lot of mental shit that goes into this game. Preparation for your opponent. Playing at a consistently high level no matter who you're playing. Executing mistake-free. Playing within the confines of the team you do have.
Yeah, and taking what your opponent's giving you, right?
Yes, sir. Good point.
That's every time I'll still watch that Super Bowl game, and I'm like, why don't I just take what was available? Like I just
told you, bro.
Like, I was just trying to force my will on him so bad. It was like, just take what's available.
In your defense, Gates, because I called you right after the game and told you that. But in your defense, I fall into that trap sometimes too. And I'm going to tell you something. There's an old saying. You dance with the person that you brought to the dance. If you've been dominant all year playing a certain style of football, and because of that dominance, you're in the Super Bowl, from a common sense standpoint, why would you change?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really think about it, okay, let's look at your game with Dre. I've often said when you play Dre, the key to Dre is you can't play your style of football. You have to take what he gives you. And that's what Boone did. And Boone got a dub. Like, I've played Dre so many times, and especially in big games, that I just know how you have to play against him. At the same time, Dre's already going into that game winning if he's making you play his style of football. So from that standpoint, the right mentality should be to go in there and make Dre adjust to you.
Right.
So I don't fault you for it. It's just at a certain point.
Yeah, when the game's going a certain way.
Yeah.
Like now
I can't go up top. That's just not going to be there.
Yeah. That's what I was like, yo, I don't care if you can cover for all day. I'm going up top. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Like, I'm going to give you now, here's another example, right? Now, I'm going to give you the perfect example of what happens when you don't change your game plan. Paya. Paya got dismantled by Boone. Paya, I don't care what you want to say about getting Madden. You didn't get Madden, bro. I just didn't jump in the chat and say nothing because Gates was on you and Doc and I mean, not Doc Prime and it is what it is. People need to cut that shit out. Just because you lose doesn't mean you got Madden. I watched that entire game, bro. You did not get Madden. You didn't adjust. You were stubborn. You wanted to keep taking deep shots. You didn't have Beckham. You kept trying to force it to Metcalf.
Yeah.
Boone has
dominated on both sides of the ball.
Right. You don't take anything underneath. You don't throw drags. You don't throw outs. It's feast or famine with you. You want to throw the ball and take a 70-yard. You want to try to force Chubb up the middle every once in a blue moon, and when that doesn't work, you want to take a deep 70-yard shot with Metcalf. Anybody that's got any common sense that can defend the two things you want to do, put you in a pickle. And on defense, you just want to bring the house, bro. So at the end of the day, when shit doesn't go your way, okay, because here's the one thing I was thinking about when he said that the game didn't go his way. Oh, I have all these great players, and damn, what a hell of a pick by the Giants. Goodness gracious. Woo! Shit. Alec Ogletree got up like a cornerback. My bad. Going back to that Boone game, right? So he's mad because Metcalf didn't make a play, and he's mad because Chubb fumbled the ball. Hey, man, I don't know if you know, bro, but Khalil Mack's on the other side. Kyle Fuller's on the other side. Eddie Jackson's on the other side. All of them dudes, they're X factors, and they ball out too.
Yeah. And he was forcing stuff that wasn't there. He kept trying to force that end around, wasn't working. Kept trying to force Chubb, wasn't working. Kept trying to just throw the I-form play action street play. It ain't open. That's it. That's it.
Right. But see, now this goes back to what we said. Now, at what point in time do you say, hey, listen, let me modify what I'm doing. I'm without Odell. He's gonna key on Metcalf. Let me flip the script. And that's where it gets difficult. And kind of like you in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You didn't adjust the Dre. You kept trying to do what you want to do. And I respect that because that's why you're successful. But every once in a while, hey, what they like to say, hey, them players over there, they get paid to play too.
Yeah, for sure.
Adjustments got to be made.
Yeah, I know. I do want to. You also playing well, and Boone said that here in the chat. He said the Ty and the Giants are impressive as well as 7-1, and I agree. Remember, and I've said it in a bunch of shows. Like, this is the year I hold you accountable, right? Like the first 2 years, I know you are trying to figure it out, building up. But this year is the year I usually hold you and Cletus accountable, and you both are like top of your division with 1 loss. So hats off to you guys for playing well.
Man, I almost had that game with Candy, man. But you know what?
Yeah, that's just they old NBL war days. You know what I'm saying? That's just we go so far back playing each other.
Well, the play that broke that game open was a weird punt return that just I don't even know how to describe it. Can't even tell me, dude, that was some bullshit. But I said, you know what? It happens, man. It was a good game. I appreciate Boone bringing that up. It's like what I said about Boone. I just feel good about what I'm doing.
Yeah, he said, and he played 5 weeks without Saquon, so.
Yeah.
Who's the backup?
To this bye, huh?
Who's the backup you got?
Dontrell Hilliard.
He's been balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched one of your games. I was like, who is that dude?
Yeah. Funny story, right? But this goes back to what we always talk about GM moves. I stole Dontrell Hilliard from Prime's practice squad. He was sitting there. Saquon went out last season, and I'm looking in free agency, and I see this dude come up, and I said, he had all the stats I like, and I'm like, well, shoot. Took him off Prime squad, and I'll be damned. You're right. He's coming off his third. Last game, I want to see it 22 carries for 160 yards. I mean, he's doing his thing. Luckily, thank God, because, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jones is, Boone kind of figured it out. Jones and Trubisky aren't taking as many deep shots and holding onto the ball as they used to in the first 2 years. Like, you guys are getting the ball out very quick, very fast, and you're running first, changing the game. So
what's funny is Jones, well, now I'm on a bye, but Jones was second in the league in passing yards and fourth in passer rating. And it's funny because I see Boone kind of has that same formula in terms of very high efficiency and very high completion percentage, which goes back to what you just said about, playing within the confines of those dudes.
Yeah, I tell Boone all the time, like, because I was watching Boone. He does great when he throws less than 20. Same thing with Jones. When you guys throw less than 20, 25, you guys have a high efficiency. Once you start breaking over that, you guys get into that, it's still efficient, but you need that crucial 3rd and 3, that funny out route he can't hit, or that drag he overthrows for some odd reason. I don't know why it's like that.
Somebody told me this before, and I didn't believe it, but I seen it to be true. And they said once you get a quarterback that's not that good, over the 75 OBR threshold, the game changes for how they play it. And I finally got Jones at 76 OBR. And I disagree because obviously with Saquon being out, Jones has had to carry us. And I'm back to old Ty in terms of sometimes throwing for 30 to 40 times a game. And this efficiency is through the roof. But what it is I'm just throwing stuff he's more comfortable with. I still take my deep shots, but I take them when it's painfully opposly there.
Yeah,
As opposed to
he's wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas before I would call plays to force them shots.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh shit, streak is open up the seam. Bam.
Yeah, the easy throw. That's the easy throw. Before when you guys were like trying to throw the deep post and he's like dropping back. Yeah, he's not ready for that. Like your offensive line wasn't ready for that to block that long, and Jones' arm, it just wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So let's run through division wars. So the way the division is shaking out, what is your overall view of the divisions?
We could do it the same way we did last time. If you want to bring it up, I'll have you do the you're an AFC guy, so I'll have you do the NFC and I'll do the AFC.
Okay. I feel like the NFC West, I think they're still balling heavy. Even though Dre lost, I feel like the Rams and the Seahawks are in a good position to fight for second in that division. I think the sixth spot, I think we're gonna have 2 teams easily in the playoff, maybe even 3. I feel like NFC North is Boone's without a question. Lion, he said he was going to come back and do his thing. He made 1 win, I think. I don't know if he's back all the way. Tick is life. A lot of life is happening with him, whether work trips or whatever he's doing. So he might play, might not play. C-Dub is still around.
Yeah.
C-Dub is around. I just don't know if C-Dub figured it out yet. Like, who is he? He was a hit-sticking guy year 1 or whenever he first came in. Now, I don't know if he's still hit-sticking, if he's run first, pass first. I don't know what's up with him. So,
hey, I talked to Dub the other day, and he was telling me that he doesn't feel that me and you give him enough credit in the chat. And I said, hold on. I've been a big promoter of you and Bucks from the time y'all came in and out. I told him, and he said, hey, man, I beat Boone before. And I said, I get all that, and I respect it. But I said, like, the reason why I continue to give Boone the edge is because Boone is consistent. And I feel Dub's a good player, but he'll drop one, he'll win one. He'll drop one, he'll win one. And I feel like until he gains that level of consistency,
you're not in the conversation yet.
Right. So he's there, he's close. He just needs to consistently win more games, as opposed to going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
So I definitely think he's a quality player. But he's in a tough division, and he needs to win at a more consistent clip.
Yeah. I mean, especially with him and Skills coming into the league at the same exact time. Skills going right to the had a good year 1. Next year go right to the Super Bowl. C-Dub come in, won some games, kind of didn't. One is like here, one isn't here, but then we can argue division and things like that. But one thing is for certain, Skills does consistently win games, right? So there's no disrespect to C-Dub. I mean, use it for motivation, right? It almost sounds like Kurt all the time. He's like, yo, y'all don't respect me. Y'all don't respect me. Well, make us respect you. You know what I'm saying? Put some wins up, make us respect you. Because we don't have no problem retracting the statement if we feel as though you turned the table. So that's that.
It's funny because I feel like this. I think I'm one of the best people to speak on the whole respect thing. Yeah and no. Because I feel like you said earlier, you said you don't feel Jordan's the greatest. I disagree, but that's your opinion, like you said. People have it in their head already who they perceive in the league to be the dudes. And even when you perform at a high level, a lot of times, it's like first impressions. People's first impressions are, hey, well, this is who I think the dude is. So no matter what you do, it's hard for people to change their minds. I've said it all the time. Like, I really thought about this the other day. Not Super Bowls won, but Super Bowl appearances. I guarantee you, I'm in the top 3 in this league all time in trips to the Super Bowl. But I watch everybody in the chat, and you talk, and Skills talks, and all these other dudes talk. And yeah, occasionally the Boones of the world are chiming to say something. But if you look at my pedigree, not living in the past, by all of the Super Bowl appearances I made, I've proven I can win at a high level consistently. But Sometimes I'm in the conversation, sometimes I'm not. So the point I'm trying to make with this, it's not to pump me up, it's to say, no matter what you do, people are going to think what they want to think. So yeah, use the chat for motivation, but also sometimes don't worry about what the chat thinks. Just do what you do. Like if I worry about what the chat thinks, that might cause me some aggravation. I just go out here and I just play my games.
I just can't get lost in that chat, man. You can't get lost. You can't get lost in that chat. Like that.
See,
chat,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, and I brought all this up again. It's not to pump me. It's to say, hey, I'm an example of somebody that's consistently proving a lot of shit. But a lot of times, even I feel overlooked. You feel that way for a hot second, but then you go, does it really matter? Like, does it really matter what somebody else thinks? My record is what it is. My track record, my pedigree is what it is. Just keep winning and just keep doing me and just keep doing what I do. Like at the end of the day, what anybody thinks about what I'm doing doesn't add a win or a loss to my record. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So use it for motivation, but don't let it sidetrack you. Don't try to play to quiet the silent, to doubt the silent. I mean, to silence the doubters. Like just do you.
Yeah.
It's like you said, sooner or later, when people see what you're doing consistently, somebody's gonna say, "Hey, man, like that person right there they playing."
Yeah. He said that they took his hit stick away.
Hey, Dub, you know what? Hey, Dub. Okay, so obviously you're watching the show. I'm glad you said that, Dub, because I was gonna ask you. Me and Gates was trying to figure this out last owner's box. You said they took your hit stick away. Gates was asking me the hit stick, and I said, I don't know, because I've never been a big hit stick guy. From time to time, I'll flick on and use it. But Dub, as a person that primarily uses it, did they do something at one of these patches that neutered the hit stick? If you could type in a response, I'd appreciate it.
Definitely.
Okay. See, I was wondering, remember you asked me that last week, and I said, I don't know. I really don't know. But I did notice that both Skills and Dub kind of laid off of it. But maybe it's that they didn't lay off. You had asked me that. I said I didn't know. Maybe they didn't lay off of it. It just kind of got neutered.
Yeah. He said, I'll be able to sit down more soon. So I guess that means, he'll be working on it again or he'll be coming back. So
yeah. Because his game is there.
Yeah. Here we go.
Put some respect. Yeah, his game is there. It's just the consistency. Because Dub, like I said, his game is there. And Kurt put some respect. Hey, Kurt, I always put respect in your name, brother. Me personally, Don Joe. I don't say nothing. Exactly. What I always say, when you good, you gotta say, hey, look at me. When you great, what's the first thing Ty said? Hey, man, Don Joe knocked off Cletus twice, brother. He's here.
Man, for sure. Dub says he travels a lot.
Yeah, he does. He goes back and forth. Remember, I was telling you he goes. He's consistently going back and forth from NoCal to SoCal. Remember how I was telling you how big our city is?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Try that mess again. I just had a game with a total of 10 overs of hit sticks and INTs. Well, but there's two kinds of hit sticks. Yeah. Because there's a lot of times my team will hit stick people, and I didn't initiate the hit stick. The computer CPU initiated the hit stick. Like if Jabril Peppers comes down, I'm not forcing him to do a hit stick. He'll just, depending on his angle, how he's bang.
Yeah.
So sure. I get what Dub is saying. The hit stick could be toned down in terms of you trying to. But to be honest, I'm glad we're on this. I've said this before. If they did neuter it, I'm glad they did, and I'll tell you why. I feel the premier players, not owners, us coaches, I'm talking about players on the field, like the Bucks, right? When Skills first got in the league, he could hit stick you with a 62 overall, fifth string scrub corner, and the ball will get dislodged, and I ain't feeling that shit. Now, if Levante David dropped the hammer, I'm like, all right, that's Levante David. I'm good with that. Vikings, right? If Harrison Smith hit sticks me and I cough it up, I don't have a problem. But Trey Wayne shouldn't be hit sticking shit. That frail bitch. He shouldn't be hit sticking nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when I have a problem.
For sure. And the Rams, John the Bullet did comment and say he's still sitting here with Gurley hurt for a year. Now, John.
That's true.
Now, John, in our game, right, here in our defense, I think did me and you talk about this time before about overworking the running backs?
We did, but we didn't talk about our own spots. We was on the phone talking about this. We was talking about the running back load.
Yeah, because in that game that we played the Rams, I played the Rams. Gurley got hurt, and he got hurt with the funniest animation, bro. Like he fell, he tripped, and like fell, and he let the ball go. I thought it was home, but they had marked him down. He was like holding his leg, right? I was cracking him laugh. I was cracking him. I'm cracking him laughing like, oh, Gurley hurt, and he's like hurt. And
yeah, he was like 40 weeks or some crazy shit.
So the option comes in like medium to high risk if you play him again. What does John Bullock do? Because I'm coming, he feels me fighting back into the game. Because I was down like 31-14. He feels me fighting back. He's like, yo, I'm bringing Gurley in. Right back. 2-3 plays later, boom, hurt yet again. Now he's done for the year. You know what I'm saying? So that overworking on the running back, I feel like Mo does that too. Like Mo will give his running back 30 runs a game, and then on the 35th run, he's hurt. And he's hurt for like 20-something weeks. Like, dude, his workload is so much.
Okay. Now, two things. When a player on my team gets hurt, unless it says low risk, him get like the little box up and shit, and you look in and you like, man, I hope he's coming back. If it says low, he'll return soon. I'll put him back in. If it says medium or high, hey, even if he can come back in, I never put that dude back in. Never, even for medium.
Don't he gets hurt. If he gets hurt again, he's hurt. He's hurt.
But now I'll say this though. The injury thing I think needs to be tweaked a little bit. I'm not talking about sliders. I'm talking about the way the game is tuned. Todd Gurley should get hurt often. In real life, he gets hurt often. So I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, I've never seen him injured yet. So the fact that he gets injured, it's kind of garbage. Now, I'll say this. I think Boone, and I told him this, is really onto something with platooning his running backs. And I told him this about 2-3 weeks ago. Even though he has Kamara in that urge is there to want to run him 20 to 25 times because it's Alvin Kamara, he'll consistently run him about 12 times a game. He'll give Chris Carson about 7 to 8 carries a game, and he'll give somebody else about 2 or 3 for a total of about 25. But his dudes stay fresh that way. Before this year, Saquon didn't get hurt in real NFL. This season, he's had some injuries. But I've lost Saquon once a season. All 3 seasons we played so far, 6 games first season, 6 games second season, 6 games. So he's good for 10 games. But I started thinking, damn, maybe now when he comes back, hey, I shouldn't give him more than 15 carries a game. But it kind of sucks because when you have an X factor like Zeke or Alvin or Saquon or Todd Gurley, why wouldn't you want to use them? They're an X factor for a reason. You want them on the field with the ball in their hands to make a play. Yeah. And then you see dudes like McCaffrey never get hurt. And you see dudes like Fournette never get hurt. So it's kind of weird the way they do the running backs this year.
Yeah, I think it's funny how it's like I think some guys actually have their program, like the Injury Brothers program, and I'm like a Dalvin Cook gets hurt all the time. Mm-hmm. Todd Gurley gets hurt all the time.
But those two should, if you look at their track record in history of the league.
Kamara sometimes get hurt. I don't know what his real life situation is. For some odd reason.
Yeah. You know what? Kamara's pretty durable. But if you think about this, though, in real life, this is the first year Kamara's been solo dolo. Every other year, it's been him and Ingram platooning. So he hasn't had to carry the load.
Yeah. And that's what I do with my running backs. Like I have Mixon, Cohen, and Jordan Howard. I mean, Cohen is like my receiver almost. I use him like a receiver. Mixon I use in run, and then Jordan I use as a power back. So I've learned that watching you guys running backs get hurt. I'm like, oh, okay. I see this year they're penalizing guys who touch the ball a lot of times. I don't know why Saquon gets hurt, but for some reason in Madden, he gets hurt.
The good thing about it is I still get, even all 3 seasons that he got hurt, I still get 10 games, which it's good. That boils down to when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
If like right now he's hurt early in the season, I'm getting him back right now after my bye. So as long as he plays the rest of the season, and if I get into the playoffs, can play during the offs, do I really care? But then again, sometimes, hey, maybe them 6 games, if I'm Saquon heavy, hey, that's the reason that kills my season 8 weeks in. So it's tough, man. But I do think there may be some merit to platooning dudes.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like Barkley now helped you. I mean, now you know you can win him without him anyway. So anything he does is just a bonus at this point.
Now, John, the Bullet is saying Henderson is not a superstar, and he's like me because you asked me who my guy is, Dontrell Hilliard. I got him the superstar.
Yeah,
superstar. Well, because I have no choice. If I'm losing and he doesn't have no choice with Henderson, see, here's the thing: the guys that depend on the bell cow running backs like me or like him, you're not going to not run the ball all of a sudden because your guy's not there. So whoever's in that spot, we're going to build them up. And we're so used to not having our main dude that it's like, hey, Henderson, let's go. Hey, Dontrell Hilliard, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much helped you guys step it up with your running backs.
Hey, Dub said what we said exactly. Never lost a lot because you lose your running back. Learn that with Dalvin. Yeah, man, it's. Yeah,
and then he said that Carson is definitely an X factor. Alvin is insurance. Alvin's really the X factor on that team. Carson is the insurance. I mean, either one. I mean, he's just plug and play in both of them. I think like your system now is a plug and play with the running backs, right? The random play. You know what I'm saying? They forced. I mean, the disadvantage is yes, you lose your X factor. The advantage is you gain now two additional superstars. So now you have a running back who's X factor and one who's a superstar. So
and you're absolutely correct. But now let me tell you the difference with Dontrell Hilliard and Saquon. So like I just told you, last game, 20 carries, 160 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could have had one touchdown, but I was up big, so I ran it out of bounds at the one, and I didn't take it in. The difference is Hilliard's yards are hard earned. Like I have to hit the right holes, I have to follow my blocks, etc. The difference between him and Saquon's going to make people miss, even if I don't. I hit that juke button or that circle, or even other times people are going to bounce off of him. So it's still good to have that backup there, and they can carry the load. But the X factor is the X factor for a reason. That's why I say X factor, X being unknown. You don't know when you square up on Saquon if you're going to bring him down or if he's going to bounce off you.
Yeah, I agree. What is his abilities now? Hilliard's abilities.
Saquon has first one free, meaning if you're in the open field, the first person who tries to tackle you, your rate of success when you juke a spin is like a gazillion.
Yeah.
So likely they're going to miss you. The first person is not bringing him down. He has juke box, which means his juke and spin are like otherworldly when he's in the X factor. And then last but not least, he's got, I think, it's not satellite, but it's something to do with when you throw to him the ball when he's in the X factor, he's like almost guaranteed to catch it every time and make a play.
Okay. And then what about Hilliard's new abilities?
He's not an X factor. So
if he has superstar, he's
shoot. I want to say spin cycle or spin cycle.
Okay. Did he spin?
Yeah, he's a weird. I always get weird dudes like that to where it's like he's like Darius Jackson. You remember I've had him for years. I'm on the roster again. They're bigger dudes, but they're agile. They're not like bulldozer types.
Yeah. Okay. C Dub says he plays the man twice a year. Carson is the rock of that running game.
Hey, well, yeah, and I respect the dudes that play in division because they see. I in a way, I kind of do agree with what Dub is saying because I watch a ton of Boone's games and I know what he's saying. Carson and in real life this year, Carson's having damn near a Pro Bowl season in the real NFL. He is a very physical dude.
Yeah, I know Don Jordan talk about his guy, Larry Rose. Well, see, and that's why I said it's funky, but that's why I said it needs to get tuned because you're right. Larry Rose, I want to say, is like 5'8", 180, and that dude never gets injured, and Donjo feeds the dog shit out of that dude. That dude's getting 30 touches a game between not 30. That dude's at least getting 25 touches between toting the rock and then some passes out of the backfield. And that dude's never hurt. I watched this game, right?
Huh?
I watched this game, right? Larry Rose has so many moves, it's ridiculous. For him to get like 5 yards, bro, he spins, jukes, hurdles, ducks underneath. Larry Rose is a workhorse, Don Joe got that. Like he said, you're right. He got him working up. He's slaving him over there, He's slaving.
That's exactly why I said like it's kind of weird, and in a sense, the injuries are not in tune with what's real. Because you can't tell me a dude that slight of frame is that durable, but then dudes like Saquon and Zeke and Todd Gurley can't stay healthy.
Yeah, you're right. Wins and losses. Have a lot of games been played this week?
I don't know. I was, the weekends, a lot of times I kind of detach from the console and I'm out and about doing my thing. And so I don't really know. I think a decent amount, but I think there's probably still a lot of games to be played there. I think. I don't know.
Okay. C-Dub is super active. He said the receiver Hall Boone has is unstoppable on the out route. This is Boone year. It's Super Bowl or bust.
You know what's fun? How do I feel about it?
Yeah. Do you feel like Boone? This is Boone's year, Super Bowl or bust?
I don't think it's bust. I think he obviously. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I ain't gonna get into all Boone's financial business on the air, but I know he's got some people that he may not be planning to bring back. Obviously, we know the Antonio Brown move was made for this year. So actually, I take that back. To quote Dub, you're right. He has kind of built the team to win right now. But I think the way he plays the game and his schemes and in the way he plays, he's going to be good for the rest of Madden in terms of what he does travels and it works. But you're right. But personnel-wise, he does – if he is in a position where it's like, okay, I'm going to make these moves based off I'm going to win right here, right now.
Do I feel like – I don't feel like it's a Super Bowl or bust for him. I feel like if he wins it, it's great. He had a great year, but if he doesn't, this is like the first year everything's clicking for him, right?
But that's what I agree, because that's what I'm saying. He's still built to win throughout Madden, but he wouldn't make a move for Antonio Brown this year without no plans to sign him if he didn't think this year that could help him get over the edge. So it's not bust, but he's built to win now.
Yeah, for sure. And so for him, it's like, okay, if you don't go, because last year he was a game away from the NFC Championship. Now I feel like he built this team this year. Like, all right, maybe these couple moves to help me get to the promised land. And it's like for him, I feel like Super Bowl or bust still is like Bucks. I feel like the Bucks has that pressure from him feeling like he just could have won the Super Bowl. He was, just played the game got away from him late third and the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. I feel like he has a Super Bowl or bust. I feel like I have a Super Bowl or bust pressure. Paya has that pressure. I feel like those are the teams that have Super Bowl or bust pressure. Me signing all these guys, $200 million for Watson, stuff like that. Like you said, being probably the best two teams, arguably on paper. I feel like we have the more pressure. We're like the Yankees of the league. You know what I'm saying? Like we're buying our championship. From that perspective. You know what I mean? So for us, I feel like it has to work for us. We cannot leave this man without a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with that, but a lot of the people you said are Super Bowl or bust. I also feel like if they don't win this year, it's not over for them. See, like when I think Super Bowl or bust, I feel like if you don't win the Super Bowl this year, the window's closing and you're never going to have this good an opportunity again to get there. But I feel like you, Paya, Boone, Bucks, all the people you said, yeah, the pressure's there to win because you've been successful to this point. But you guys are still going to be factors next season. You're going to be factors the season after that. You're going to be factors in season 6. You're going to be factors in season 7. So in that regard, it's not truly bust for me. Is why I say that. It's just the expirator, but it's not or bust.
Yeah, I agree. I say that. Paya. Hold on a second. Hold on. I didn't need anything. I just checking in. All right. I say that because, like I said, the difference between my team and Paya's team, right? Paya still has to sign all these big names. I kind of got over my hurdle. I signed all my big players, all my high overall players, all my superstars, all my X factors. Paya is in that position right now. So for me, like this has to be his year because he might not be able to keep that team, that core team together like I was able to. I don't know if it's his whole financial situation. But that's what I'm like. I feel like he even has more pressure than me because I get all my guys back next year. I get another chance to do it all over again. I don't know if he has that same ability. With he might lose a Mayfield, he might lose a Beckham or a Metcalf or Ward or something like that. Or does he gut his whole financial situation just to keep that core together? You know what I'm saying? So to do all that and not get a Super Bowl or at least an appearance, to me, that's a lot. No? Disagree?
No, I'm thinking. No, I actually agree with you. I do agree, but you got me thinking about another thing, which is why I kind of went silent. And I'm like, once you have your scheme down pat, I mean, you're locked, and you know your reads inside out on offense and defense and your play calls. How important is it to have all of these players all over the field? Is it more about scheme or is it more about player? And that's literally what was in my head, because in the Pius scenario, he loses a few players, but he has a formula for how he wants to play. Is he now all of a sudden ineffective because he doesn't have some of them dudes, or is he still effective? Now, don't get me wrong. I get.
Can I answer that?
You, of course you can. I asked you.
Yeah. In his case, his scheme is built around his players.
Right.
Players. And we only see that to be true because of the boom game, right?
Yeah.
The end around that he does with Odell, with his X factor ability, when he catches it and turns that corner, he like teleports around that corner. I don't know if you've ever seen that. When he runs that pit around, bro, he catches that. Odell catches that, he teleports around the corner. Him having them abilities and things like that, I think play a big factor in his scheme. So with him not having that, not having Beckham in that game and not adjusting his scheme, I don't know. Boone showed that. Like, is he the same team now? So that's a good question. I don't know.
And that's why I got quiet, because I was thinking that, because I know in season, I guess for me it's kind of a trick question. I think early in Madden, season 1, 2, maybe even 3, but mainly season 1 and 2, you need to have the players there because you don't have your scheme down pat. So you're depending on players to be who they are and make plays. Whereas I think in like season 3 and on, by then you've got your scheme down pat and you play a certain way. And now it's just plugging and playing people in there. But you're still going to make them same plays and run your schemes and do what you do is there. So I think it's players super important early in Madden. As you get later into Madden, I think it's less important. If that makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, and those two teams are the same, right?
Right.
Do I need those? I feel like, do I need all those players? No, but it's just nice to have.
No. See, right. I'm glad you said that because you're a perfect example. If you took away Hopkins and you took away Fuller, okay.
Because Fuller's been hurt. Fuller's been hurt like
yeah. But I also feel like this. Like, I think you'll still be effective. Now, don't get me wrong. It's better to have DeAndre Hopkins at number 1 than Joe Smith. But the same plays you run for Hopkins, you can run for Smith. I think where it catches up is every once in a while, Hopkins is going to make a play that Joe Smith can't. He's going to hold on to the ball in a key situation where Joe Smith can't. But I still think you'll have a high success rate for running the same plays you run. It's just every once in a while, the X Factor is going to show you, hey, I'm that X Factor for a reason. Yeah, there's 4 guys on me. I'm still making that catch, and Joe Smith might drop it.
Yeah, for sure. That's why that little advantage does help. I can hold you. It's not like, it does help. So, I mean, because Fuller has been hurt like 6-7 weeks, and I got Listenby in there just rocking.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go back to what I said about Hilliard, the way he's balling in place of Saquon. Go back to what John the Bullet said with Henderson playing in place of Gurley. Like, because our schemes are where they're at, and we've ran the same plays now for weeks and months, and we know them cold, you can still make things happen. But I think in season 1, when you don't quite have your scheme down yet, you need that dude that's just going to take over and make that play for you.
Yeah, I agree. So we never really got a chance to. Do you want to pick this game's week's remaining games, or you want to just do next week?
We'll do this week's.
Okay. Let me share the screen here.
Because I think it's still a decent amount. Man, this guy's killing me, man. Aldrich Rosas, the Pro Bowl kicker, man, just missed the field goal. He's been missing them left and right and front and center this year. Oh, that was a horrible snap, though.
Okay, let's get right to it. So the Chief and the Bengals.
My honest opinion, that game's going to go to a sim. I don't see either dude playing. Lincoln Ector, the Chiefs, hasn't been really active. Prime will be active if you call him out, but if you don't call him out, it's going to go to a sim. I'm going to give the Chiefs a sim win in there.
Jaguars and Patriots.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's strong back.
Right. He's kind of been playing, but he's kind of not playing. I'm gonna give Bobby and the Jags that one.
Yeah, if Strong plays, I'm going with Jacksonville. I like his game. It's a little gadgety, but I like it.
Right? You see what I was saying about all the unplayed games? I said so we can pick this week.
Yeah. Now who's the new Falcons?
Falcons is Creasy. Remember?
Okay.
It used to be Pats. It used to be Vikes.
Yeah. Welcome back. Him and Crack.
I know Creasy is rusty and he hasn't been playing for a minute. He beat Mo off the rip and then took a pretty bad loss to Skills. But I think he's a student of the game. He knows how to play the game. He's rusty, but don't know if Crack's going to play, not play. I like the way Crack's been playing, but I'm going to give the edge to Creasy.
Crack snuck one in Texas last week, man.
That's why I said, yeah. Hey, I told you when you played him, I said, hey, man, he's improved.
Yeah, I was just, I broke out early on and I started getting disrespectful. And then he just started, he actually was coming back, almost tried to sneak one in. I said, try to, sneak one in on me. He played solid, though. If he plays me like he plays the Falcons, if he decides to play, I'm going to go with Crack on that one. I feel he's due for a win. He's due. But the question is, getting the schedule together and getting him to play might be next step. So, sorry, I didn't have to do that to you. No. Moondog and Panthers.
That's a tough one. Moondog wants to ground and pound with Zeke. He's improved on offense. I just played Carolina right before my bye. He does a lot of exotic stuff. He has a lot of different looks. And I seen what he did against Flex. I'm going to go with Carolina in that one. Haven't seen his game against Flex and haven't just played him, but I do think Mundo can win that game. Because Mundo wants to run first, and I didn't see Carolina have a lot of success stopping the run against me. And I know Mundo wants to run even more so than I want to run, so he can win that game. But I'm gonna give it to Carolina.
I'm gonna go with Carolina. Well, I was once a believer in Moondog. That ship has sailed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that ship has sailed. Every time I put faith in Moondog, he goes back to his old ways, man. And I can't ride that train no more. I'm done. So I'm going with Carolina. Steelers and the Titans? I'm just joking.
I was about to say.
Does Doc have what it takes to get past Candy? They play each other a lot. Doesn't have it figured out yet.
But see, now, let me ask you this. Does this go back to what I said about the bully mentality where somebody that's dominated you consistently, do you go into that game with the mindset of, well, I'm not going to win this game. So you lost before you started, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of that is set in, but Candy is one of them dudes, like I told you before, you've got to really play mistake-free, heads-up, sharp football all game. And while I like what Doc does, I don't know that he has the discipline necessarily to day in and day out. I mean, down in and down out, deal with Candy. I'm going to give it to Candy.
I mean, I think he plays him so much. And I think he even got past Doc one time by 3 points. Like Doc is like I feel like he maybe can do it, but he's just I don't think the mentally like what it takes to beat Candy. You know, Doc is just gonna jump in the game and play it. Like I don't know if he's gonna be super focused enough to like come out.
Actually, hold on, Gates. I don't mean to interrupt you. Doc jumped in the commish chat and said he's really, really hectic and busy at work, and he put himself on auto for a couple of weeks. I think this might be one of those auto games. So now that I think of it, it's definitely going to be Candy because I don't even know if Doc's going to play this game.
Okay, done. Eagles in the Raiders. If the Raiders win, upset.
Yeah, I can't see they beating Mo. Although when Mo's not winning and he's not doing well, Mo has a tendency to not play games. But even if this went sim, there's no way the Raiders would beat the Eagles. Any which way you look at it, Mo's going to win this game.
Okay. And then the Vikings in 49. See,
that's going to be a tough game just because I like the way both play. But Dre rarely loses. He lost to Boone. Probably he's really looking to get back on track and really looking to establish himself again and get a win. I think Dub's going to be game. Dub's going to try to do what he does, but I see Dre winning this one.
See, this goes back to when you said earlier in the show to me, right? For me, Mark, you say, see, Dub's like, yo, man, we don't give him enough credit. These are the games right here, right? These are the games that mean something to me. Like when Dre is considerably the favorite, right? C-Dub, do you go in and do you win this game? He's with this game right here. This is the game right here where you earn the respect. This is the game. Hold on, I think my.
No, you good now. You froze for a minute, but you straight now.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Is it sharing?
No, I hear you good.
Can you still see the PlayStation?
No.
All right, let me reshare it. Hold on. Maybe a little too much power for this MacBook here. All right, there we go. So this is the game, like I said. C-Dub, if the game you want to respect, this is the game you have to win. Well, not necessarily this is the end all be all, but this is what I'm saying. The consistency, the things we talked about, winning the games, against the top tier guys. That's what this is about right here. Todd, do you want to do week 10 or you just want to move on to the next topic?
I'm good for whatever you want to do.
I'll do week 10. Yeah. I'm not gonna do week 10. The way that this our laptop is probably overworked. It's not even letting me connect to it.
Hey, load management, brother. You need that, but you gotta have that backup PlayStation going right now, man. You can't get all loaded at one.
Yeah, I see. C-Dub, let me see. John the Bullet. John was asking, no one asking to be a guest. John, you're more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome. I did have somebody who did want to be a guest.
Hey, tell John if he wants to come on right now, we could rock.
John the Bullet, you available right now? If you watching, are you available right now? Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you the link right now. Just so all you need is a phone. There you go, John, right there. That's the link. If you're watching it and you want to jump on, you click that link. You should be on here any second.
Exactly. And to answer your question, John, I know a bunch of people have asked to be guests, but a lot of times it comes down to timing. Me and Gates, sometimes we generally try to do a show on Saturday. If we miss that, then we'll do something incognito on the spot like today, like, hey, boom, let's do one today. Well, let's do on Monday. So a lot of times, even though people want to be on it, when we hit them up, we're like, hey, we're running right now, like in an hour. Oh, man, you know, she told me earlier I'm out and about. So people want to be on it. Just the timing kind of hasn't synced up.
Okay. It looks, and look who it is.
I see that. He said over here.
There it is. Look how instant that is. Look how instant that is.
What's up, John?
We got John the Buller here.
What's up?
Man, it's good to put a face to the name. How you doing, brother?
Good, you?
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the show, good sir.
Now, before we get started, I want to say this. I know Boone brought John into the league because Boone played with John in a little league that Boone has on his own with friends and family, stuff like that. And he said to me, Ty, this dude is solid. You know, I don't vouch for anybody, but I'm willing to bring this dude in because he's good. And I got to say, out the gate, since day one, since John joined the league last year, not only has he been a good dude, he's a good player. He's active in the chat. Just one of the better owners we have and a good contribution. So Boone made a good call, John, and definitely appreciate what you bring to the table and think you're a damn good player, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. So that's every guest, right? We do this routine. So give us your Madden background when you first started playing. And then how, like, you know, just like how long you been playing Madden, you know, CFM versus, you know, lab games or whatever, and in our league versus other leagues you've been in.
I mean, I played Madden since 06, but like actually online, 16.
Okay, so you're fairly new.
Like that was my first year of online franchise.
Okay.
Yeah, I never played it then until I joined Boone's league.
So this is the first time you've been in like a league with 32 owners?
Yeah, this first 32 owner league.
Okay, what are your thoughts on it?
A lot better.
Yeah.
Playing the CPU on all Madden.
I
can beat them.
Yeah.
I can beat them, but then it's like cheating sometimes. Like, man.
Yeah. And then how you feel about the level of competition in the league?
Oh, it's good. I have my games.
Okay.
So give us a breakdown of the NFC West, because I want to say we've consistently said that arguably that's the best division in our league. So give me a breakdown of the Cards and the Niners and the Seahawks and what you see and what they bring to the table in your division.
Oh, let's see. The 49ers only beat once. He's tough to play. Seahawks, it's like a split every season. I have one game where I'll just blow him out, and there's the next game I get 8 turnovers, 5 fumbles, and picks all over the place because his corners react to everything. The Cards, I played them. See, it was last season, and I literally threw like 5 picks, and it was just like his corners were there every time. They would be across the field, and it was like they're over there, pick every time.
Remember, he spent like $240 million or something for Byron Jones. So he's
got the Byron Murphy too, he's a superstar too.
Yeah, he is
a star, and I try to go away from the stars.
Yeah.
But then it ain't even about the stars, because if you play the Seahawks and you throw it across the middle, he's got 86 speed with 75 zone, and they're picking it off too. And my dude would be wide open down the middle. But you see, I'm not a throwing person really. I got 17 touchdowns with my rookie and 17 interceptions.
So let me ask you this, because we spent a lot of time talking about this earlier in the season. What's up with Todd Gurley, man?
Oh yeah, you're telling me. That play, I'd have put the mic on for that play and record it. I seen him go down, and I could swear he got hurt in the game against the Texans.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. It looked like it said like a ruptured something in his leg, and I'm like, all right, he's gone for the season. And I go in, he's not even out. I'm like, okay, we're good. Then I forget who I played, but it said broken femur, and I'm like, oh great.
That shit was like
36 weeks.
Crazy shit, huh?
Wow.
Like 36 weeks. All right, I'm good. Guess
Wow.
Henderson's got to get it up now.
So two things. Well, the first thing is, does that mean now Gurley, is he still going to be a Ram? Because at this, I mean, I know me, I'd be like, I'm trading you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know.
If Henderson can get that speed up, he's got 90 speed. I like Gurley's got 94 speed.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's hard to pass up.
But he's real fast at home watching right now.
Yeah. He's sitting on the couch.
He's real fast right now. Sitting at home resting that femur. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And what was your decision behind the Jared Goff move, not re-signing?
Right. Yeah, that was a big move. Hey, real quick before you break this down, Cletus reached out to me and he's like, "Hey man, well he reached out in the chat and then he was talking to me. He was like, "Hey, do you think that John the Bullet getting rid of Goff hurt him?" And he said, Cletus said, John the Bullet said no, but he like look at his stats, and I looked at the stats of the game right after, and he had like 6 picks, and it was something crazy, man. Like is that hurting you? The real?
Go look at Goff's stats from last season. I didn't throw the ball well. He had like 20 or 30 picks. So if I'm a running person, why pay him $35 million a year instead of bulking up the line? I just went and got Fredericks.
Yeah.
I got Fredericks from the Cowboys. Win from the Patriots. Win the Goff deal. I had 2 linemen I drafted last year. They're both 80 overalls now. And then I don't even remember who the other dude is. The dude I already had, the Blitz dude, who's like a normal trait. But Goff staff, I could live with going for another QB because 17 and 17, whereas Goff was probably, I think he had more interceptions last year than touchdowns. Yeah, he had the extra boost in throwing, but I feel like I'm still throwing the ball the same.
Right. I got a real good question for you. It's gonna kind of put you in the spot a little bit, but so I'll word it carefully. You played in the AFC East last year, so you banged heads on a regular basis with Cletus. Now you're in the NFC West this year, banging heads on a regular basis with Dre. Talk about the different challenges between playing Cletus regularly and playing Dre regularly.
Cletus, I started to like stop him, but then it was like the end of the game is when he'd always get me. He always had the extra 2 plays at the end of the game that would kill me, or it would start from finish. He'd just be blowing me out. If he started going up big, I just start kneeling the ball, punting it away. Like I don't even want the ball anymore. I'm gonna throw a pick. It's gonna be a touchdown. And then Dre, he's I played him in a preseason. And I got some runs off, but every time I scored a touchdown, he was going back into the end zone too. Like I won in the preseason, but that was backups. So we play next week. We play tomorrow or the next day, depending on when you can play. So, I mean, Cletus has got great defense too, and then Dre, his passing is what kills me. I can slow his run down, but he's a pass first in my opinion.
You know what's funny? Honestly, John, and I think it's credit to you. Dre's always been run first, and he still is run first. If he's passing, it's because he doesn't feel he can run. So that's actually a credit to your defense, straight up.
Yeah.
He's a run first guy through and through. But if he can't run, he's going to pass, and he's improved greatly in terms of being able to. Before, if you stop Dre's run, he was kind of dead in the water. Now he can pass his way through.
Yeah, I agree. So, how do you feel like the competition is between AFC last year and being in the NFC this year?
I feel like the NFC's got some hard hitters. Boone, I played with him in the other league. I played him in the playoffs last year and lost Gurley. That's what hurt me last year. I think I was up the whole game, and then that fourth quarter came around. It was just like when I was playing, fourth quarter came around, and my offense went dead after Gurley got touched, and he fell down. Same thing. He got hurt. I brought him back in because I'm like, I got to use him. It's playoffs. Got hurt again 5 plays later. And then I think when I was playing you, It was the same thing. I brought him in. I was going to do a pass play, switch to a run, and then I was like, well, yeah. Or no, it was the other guy when he broke his femur. I had a pass play going, switch it to a run. I'm like, I'll use him. Broke his leg or whatever. But I feel like the NFC's got a lot of hard hitters, but the AFC does too. But the AFC's the one who keeps having 9 and 7 teams again compared to there's 10 and 6 and up in the NFC.
Oh, okay. So you feel like did we have a 9 and 7 team get in last year? Oh, that was the year.
Yeah, Dolphins got in both years.
Don Joe, Dolphins got in, and somebody else got in because I was 9 and 7. The NFC not even commented. Damn, 9 and 7. And I'm sitting home. There's 2 teams over there in. Let me ask you this though. You've known Boone for a long time because Boone brought you into this league. So Boone's 8-0 with the Bears in this league. You play him regularly between this league, the other league that was his that he brought you into. Give me your thoughts and a breakdown on playing Boone and what he brings to the table and how your games with him go in multiple leagues, like in your other league too.
Typically, if I play Boone, it's in Super Bowl in the other league. That's where it's been. I think I've played him in a Super Bowl probably 4 or 5 times. We have probably 16 to 18 teams in it. So basically, the only way I can beat him is if I can get him out rattle. I gotta be getting picks and he's got some plays where he do that roll out to the right and the guy be going left and then instantly hit right. And then he usually get me with that. But if I can user it good enough, that's when I start slowing him down. Then he likes to run the ball. I like to hit stick every other play. I don't even know what conservative tackle is because it's always hit stick or I'm pressing square.
So
which kind of hurts sometimes.
Do you feel, going back to a conversation we had before you jumped in, do you feel like the hit stick has been neutered as of late through the multiple patches, or do you feel it's still the same?
I mean, I got 8 fumbles, so I feel like it's still there. You still can get it. I mean, I get a lot of hit sticks where they aren't fumbles, but it works as long as I can get the actual hit going. Halftime, it's I'll hit it, but then they cut outside real quick and it misses them instantly. But I feel like it still works if you can time it right. But that's another thing. I got 3 kick returns against the Seahawks, and I fumbled on 3 of them with hit sticks against Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner's a beast.
Yeah, he's going to make you fumble, but I try to run away from him. I do a little juke to the right, and then here comes Bobby Wagner out of nowhere with a hit stick from across the field.
Yeah. I think it's just really a couple of things affecting the cover ball trait. Does the person have a big hit ability, and who is that player? You know what I'm saying? And some guys you just don't want to take a hit from, like a Wagner, a Keithley, Adams, a Harrison. Just some of them guys you just want to stay away from. Period. So tell me, how do you feel like your season? Where you at in this season? Where you see it? How you see it playing out for the rest of the season for the Rams?
Well, we're 6-2 right now. I think we still got the whole NFC North to play. And I got to play Dre twice still and the Seahawks again.
Woo!
So I don't think it's going to be easy. But I just need 10 wins.
So is one of those wins?
I think that's what I've had the last 2 seasons.
Is one of those wins?
What's that?
Is one of those wins against the Bears? Are you going to put up that first W, that first loss for Chicago?
I'm sure when I play him, I just know he's in. I think he's in there. I think it's the whole North or in division. But I got to beat Dre once.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get the offense rolling.
Okay.
I think right now I got the number 3 or 4 defense, and I'm pretty high up there on offense too right now.
Okay. So when the smoke clears, give me your team, the 6 teams in the playoffs for the NFC.
In the East or in the NFC.
Yeah.
You got the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Boone.
Mm-hmm.
What's that other division?
NFC East, Ty's division.
Oh yeah, Ty. Then you got to go with the.
Who are the last two wild
What
cards?
is that? That's 4 right there. That's the winners right there. The
Yeah, that's the
division.
winner. So who gets the last 2 spots?
I feel like I'll take one of them spots. I'm not sure what the Saints record is, but I see he's won twice against the Bucks with that sim. So it'd have to go between the Saints and the Seahawks if he can win. I know he lost like 3 straight because he lost to Detroit, he lost to the Panthers, and he lost to you. I think that was all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I think he's like.
He's like 4.
He's like 4. I'm not sure what Mo is, but I know he lost to the Falcons. He was running with you, but I think you took that division away for this season.
Okay. So
I'm not even sure what these other. Wait, what's Tick at?
The NFC is John is right. Shit is hard. I think the division winners are kind of set in stone, but like he said, you got John on the periphery, you got Seattle. I don't think Trunk's been making a run the Redskins of late. I want to say he's pulled even of like 4-4, 5-4. The North, depending on what Tick does, Wild Lions is back. The NFC is hard to get in, man.
yeah, they're saying week 14, John. You got Boone, week 14.
Oh yeah, the Saints are 5-3. So that's the team is what he keeps playing. He can take that last spot or the spot above me.
Okay. And then who do you feel like you have the best matchup against in round 1 of the playoffs? Because I feel like either Boone's gonna get the first spot, and then Ty and Dre are gonna get the second one, or one of the 3 will get the first and second spots, right?
I'll be 100% honest with you before you go, and I told this to Boone. I really know this year I really want to be a top 2 seed because I feel like even at 3 seed, so you can have this great record, but you could be playing a dude like John at 6.
Yeah.
That's a tall order, brother. You know what I'm saying? So to me, out of all the years this year, you really want to be a 1 or 2 seed because no matter who the 5th or 6th seeds are in the NFC, it's going to be somebody that's got potential to make a run and go all the way. So you don't want to see dudes like John. I don't care if you 3. I don't want to see that dude at 6. Right. I'm just keeping it real.
Well, that's how they're playing in the AFC. So that's what I'm saying. From John, from your perspective, if the playoffs happen, and we know the teams that are getting in, who do you feel like your best matchup is to get to round 2? Who do you want to face?
The only person I think I haven't played yet is Ty this year. So I don't even know what his scheme is at all. I don't think I played you in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Ty, let me hear.
Well, I've watched a decent amount of John's games. And John, there's nothing really that John, I was really surprised to him say he doesn't think his pass game is a strength because from the games I watch and stuff, I don't see any problem from the outside looking in. It looks fluid and smooth to me, and he looks comfortable. He plays good D. He doesn't give up a lot. To be 100% honest, it's not just John. I really feel like 1 through 6, whoever you play in the NFC, that's a 50-50 game in them playoffs. Straight up.
So I don't know who I want to play.
Ty, let's just say, Ty, hypothetically speaking, you do fall to the 3rd seed, unfortunately, due to record or points. You know how Madden does with the placement. Who do you want to see first round? Who do you feel like your matchup? Is it a John Bullet? Is it a Saints? Or do you want to face a who do you want to face?
Honestly, for me, I don't think none of those matchups are good matchups. Like John said, me and him don't have a lot of familiarity, so that works for you and against you. That would boil down to a game of adjustments in game. Saints, Kurtz had my number the last 3 or 4 times we played. They've all been close, but I came out on the short end of that. So obviously, I wouldn't be jumping the joy to see him. Flex has had success against me the last 2 or 3 games, so I wouldn't be jumping for joy to see him. So honestly, I really just don't want that 3rd seed. I really want to be in that 1 or 2 just to keep it 100% real. But at the same time, obviously getting to that point in the season, there's a lot of things I'm doing well too. So I would have to try to scout as best as I can, see what they like to do and what they don't do, try to just well in game and just play a good, clean game. But there's really nobody I would like to see. I don't think there's a favorable matchup in any of them.
Yeah.
And for me.
I know on the AFC side we have the division winners looking right now. Cletus, myself, Candy, and Paya. The next seed 2 spots will go to probably Don Joe and could be even Strong. If he turns it around. I mean, that's gonna be a tough fight, you know. Plus I still have to play like Paya, Andy, Don Joe, and Strong here in the next couple of weeks, my last couple of games. So that's like a playoff run before the playoff run for me. And this year, I agree with you, Ty. This is one of the years I just want an easy round to the second round. I don't want to be in a dog fight in a wild card. Yeah.
You hit that right on the head. Normally, you guys have known me for years. I don't care who I play, as long as I get in the playoffs, I'm good money. This year, hey man, I ain't trying to see a John or Bullet necessarily for the first round. Like that ain't, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Kurt for the first round. I don't want to see Flex for the first round.
Yeah. I agree. This part of the show we call it, John, I don't know if you ever seen this part of the show, we call it the Get It Together. Teams that we feel as though just need to get it together, man. Hopefully turn it around. Is there anybody you would like to see put on the Get It Together list? Who do you want to hold?
Like to see Bill. He took the quarterback I wanted in the draft.
Talk about it.
He took the Heisman guy.
Talk about it.
I think he needs to get him going, and he needs to get that team going. I'd love to have that middle linebacker he's got too in Bush.
He ain't trading him. Tried it already.
I tried it the first season. I tried multiple firsts and everything. I say, Bill, you got to get it together. You got pieces. You got the quarterback. You don't have Big Ben taking up the cap anymore.
Guess where Big Ben is? Sitting on my bench.
Yeah.
Let's ride it out.
I'm sitting with a 66 overall QB. So I'm just making waves with mine. I wish I had that quarterback he took, but at the same time, I took a cornerback next with 94 speed and an X Factor Zone Hawk.
Yeah, I tried to trade for you, actually. He was like,
I know you did. I'm like, yeah, that's a no-go.
I was like,
Can't give him up.
Me and John can always do it. We normally do at least one trade. Last year was Brandon Cooks. I tried to get Brandon Cooks again this year. John wanted to hold on to him until he's like 30 and then shake him loose. I'm like, come on, bro.
yeah.
I need that man.
I can't shake him loose now. He still got a $23 million like penalty if I let him go.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
seen that.
I didn't know the rookie's X Factor. He's like, dude, that's my rookie X Factor. I was like, is he? I just seen him more speed. I just wanted him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's an X Factor, and then I got a guy at number 12 that he was projected to go first in the draft. And he dropped to 12. I didn't even want him, but now he's a superstar from a trade game, so he'll make his ways.
Ty, who you got? Get it together. Let's who you got.
You know what? I'm gonna look at my own division, Mo. Brother, you won the NFC East last season. I don't know what's going on this season. I know you're doing Lyft and Uber and all that other good stuff, and I know you got some things going on in your personal life, and I know you also had a really hard schedule out the gate. But, brother, you better than 2-6 or whatever you are right now, brother. I mean, I get sometimes things don't go your way during the season, but I just don't have it in me to just let games sim and airmail shit in because it ain't going my way. I'm still going to play and compete. And I've been in some situations to where it's like, hey, it ain't going my way this season, but I'm going to spoil the shit out of something. I'm gonna take away somebody's playoff hopes and dash some shits to the rocks. You're gonna remember my name. So Mo, get it together, brother. You got 8 more games in the season. I know it ain't going your way, but don't just roll over and play dead, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 2 teams, man. I'm gonna pick one in the NFC, I'm gonna pick one in the AFC. The one in the NFC, I'm gonna stay in your division. I'm going with Truck, man.
Truck's playing. I can't, but Truck's won like his last 3 in a row. He's coming on.
He should be right on your heels, and he's not.
Okay, but he's won 3 in a row. So, like, there's nothing else better he can do at this point to get it together. He's won 3 in a row. 3-0 in his last 3.
So what's his record?
I want to say he's 4-4. He's 4-4 right now. He was 1-4 prior. So I thought he would have been good for get it together, but he's 4-4 right now. Won his last 3.
All right, so I'm good. And that ain't Warren Sims, right?
No, he played.
Okay, so I'll ease off him this week. We'll see how it pans out. And his other one is his buddy Set the Tone. Set the Tone. It's time. Bro. It's time for you to get it together in my division. Jacksonville came in, he stepped it up. I watched you get. I mean, you can't even beat the computer at this point. I watched you play in another league, and the computer put it on you. It's time to get it together. Change your scheme up. Let Andrew Luck go. Whatever you need to do over there in Indianapolis, it's time. It's time for change, man. Because
Hey Tone, you know what? I know we out of trades, but I'm really thinking probably when we get to the end of the season, bro, you should probably just go ahead and trade me Darius Leonard. I think that's really going to help you. I think that's really going to change the whole vibe on your team if you trade me Darius Leonard. I think you need to go ahead and do that, brother.
Yeah, man. It's time to get it together, man.
So Bill Tone and the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles, Steelers, and the Colts. You guys this week are the Owner's Box Get It Together list. You're more than welcome to come on and dispute that, you know what I'm saying? But we feel as though it's time for you guys to get it together. John, any tips you can give any of the owners this week? Usually me and Ty try to do tips. Do you have any tips for this episode?
Tips?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give my shit away.
Any Madden tips? For the guys who need, like we said, need to get it, or just something to help improve the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Well, basically, you got to play to your strength, and don't be afraid to let go of a player if you know you're gonna get like way more value out of him. If you can get 3 starters for 1 player, you most likely want to take it if you can, if it's worth it. I think, was it the Jaguars last year? He gave Ramsey to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I offered 3 first-round picks. 2 of them, one's an X Factor, one's a superstar, and then the other one, I don't know what he is. I traded that pick to someone else. I mean, he got Carlton Davis, who's like a star now, and then his Whiteside's a star, and he's got his DN. But I feel like that 3 first-round picks would have been big.
And keep in mind that I ain't saying there was any collusion, but
I found out that Fear was Buck's friend.
Yeah,
he got the little edge there. I found that out after a little while.
Yeah, you're in this league, John. That sometimes personalities don't help in trading. Like you got the best deal in the world. Sometimes people are like, I don't like that guy, and they just want to trade to you. Not like you as like person, just like yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I offered 3 firsts for Quentin Nelson too.
Yeah,
Nelson's a monster, man.
When I was looking for a lineman.
Okay, Ty.
Then I got Frederick.
Any tips for this week, Ty?
I'm trying to think of one that I can give that's not going to hurt me per se. Okay. I can't think of one. I have a million, but I got to be strategic in how I get these out. You know what? I'll stay on the theme that John's on because I really feel like this Madden, it's more important than anything else. and he said it, and we talked about it earlier, and that's playing within the strength of your team. We talked about it with Paya. I know the strength of his team, because he has Odell and DK, is to take them deep shots and this, that, and the third. But he still has Nick Chubb. He still has a decent line. He still has Njoku that he can hit underneath. Like, don't try to necessarily impose the way you play on your team. Like, think about what John said. He wants to run first. He has Todd Gurley. It's real easy when you lose Todd Gurley to go, well, F it. I'm just going to start chucking and ducking now because I don't have my guy. But he said, okay, Henderson, next man up. I'm still a run first guy. He may not be as effective as Gurley, but this is still what I'm going to do. So at the end of the day, like, recognize the strength of your team and try to play to it and plug in players as you need. Like, okay, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Moondog, the Cowboys, right? And I talked about this for a few seasons. So going all the way back to season 1, everybody knows the Cowboys roster. He wound up letting Dak go. He wound up letting Byron Jones go. So initially, I'm like, what is he doing? Because then he signed Dante Fowler and he signed another
Brockers.
So I'm thinking, okay, what is he doing? Right. But then this season, he traded Travis Frederick to you, and he let Tyron Smith go. So if you let go Dak Prescott, that tells me you're content to have a run first identity. And that's fine. But if that's what you want to do, then how do you let Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick grow? And I know what some people might say. They're a little older. They're expensive. Those linemen were 30. Linemen play in this league typically to about 34. So you got 4 more seasons with these dudes. 4 to 5 seasons with these dudes. So if you let your star QB go to be run first, how do you take away the protection for Zeke to run? You might as well let Zeke go now. So you got to play to the strengths of your team. You got to build according to what you want to do. If you want to run, brother, you can't gut your line.
Yeah. I feel like my pick this week is popularity doesn't always pay, right? And this is what I mean. I've noticed a lot of people running the 3-4. I live in it. And I know it's super popular, but I know that everybody can't run as effectively, right? Or doesn't understand how to play to a strength of that. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it fits, doesn't mean your team is built to run that. Like, I live in it because my team is built for that formation. Like, I live in 3-4 back. Like, I can stay in that the whole game, every play out of there. My team is built for that. Not every team is built to play 3-4 back, or, you know, big dime 1-4-6, or whatever the most popular thing is within the community. And I'm noticing that a lot of times. And then people get frustrated when it doesn't work, or they'll say like, "Oh, you know, this and this and that." They're like, "Yo, I put my team to play in that." Is your team also built to play in that? Like, play to the strength that your team is defensively. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it works necessarily for your team.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I talked about this with Boom before. Even in real sports, it's a copycat league. So a lot of people, like you said, they see something popular and they think, well, I'm going to try that. But here's the problem with that. You didn't put in the same lab work the person that's running it put in. You're just running a play because you've seen them run it. I run big dime, 1-4-6. I run that cover 2 sync. I send that dude. Mm-hmm. A lot of people may see that and go, well, I'm going to do that. Well, I have a dude with 98 speed coming off that edge for that play. And I also know where that play is weak, so I'm making adjustments in back of it. And that's what you're not seeing. You're seeing the end result, so you think, oh, well, that's good for me too. But you don't know what I'm doing in back of that to bulk up, booster it. And you also don't know that the dude I have coming off the edge is 98 speed. You coming off the edge with an 86 speed dude. And you ain't making the adjustments I'm making in back of it. So you're right. If you're going to take something somebody else is doing, like, try to get in the lab with it and understand what it does, where it's weak, and what you're trying to do with it. Don't just run a play because you see somebody else running the play.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same results. It doesn't have the same results. Somebody reached out to me like, yes, you run that. I run the same thing you run. I'm like, it's the same formation, but it ain't the same adjustments for sure. because it's not. I can tell where the holes are when I see it being ran. To Ty, I also run that cover 2 sync, right? And I also got somebody coming off the edge with like a 95 speed, a 94 speed. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So the reaction time for that to get to that QB is like 1 second. Somebody else running it, I can't get to the QB because your dude is slow. So by the time he gets over, the lineman and chipped off, and he's pulling a block. Yeah. So you're right. You gotta understand and what somebody's doing, and also if you look at my play calls, I may have called that play 300 times. So you're not familiar. I'm running that. You look at somebody else's play call, they ran it 20 times. I ran it 300. Like my familiarity with what's going to happen on that play is on a different level than the person running it 20 times.
Yeah. I know Don coming here and say, get out the bully mentality and shut down the corner routes. Any advice on how to shut down the corner routes? You guys want to give that? I mean, I can answer that.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways. See, here's the one thing I'm going to say, though, right? And then I'll let you answer that question.
Okay.
The beauty of Madden is there's not a one-stop shop mentality here. I can tell you how to shut down a corner route, but everything you try to stop gives up something else. So I might tell you how to stop the corner route, and you can, and that's great. But now you're vulnerable on the seam, or you're vulnerable underneath, or you're vulnerable on the slant. So there's no one play in all of Madden that's going to stop everything. You just have to pick and choose and decide what you want to stop and when you want to stop it. Because something for me personally, there are times I'm playing somebody and I hang my hat on defense, and somebody's doing something to me, and I don't like it, but it's not important enough for me to stop. But now we get later into the game, they need to key first down to keep the drive going. And I'm like, I already know what they're going to do. And now I need to stop that shit. That shit is done. I'm taking that shit away. I'll give up this other shit. Like, I'll tell you the true tip I was going to give you guys for this show, but I didn't want to give it because I don't want to tell it myself, but I'll tell it now. I'm real good at stopping the run. So I'm going to kind of give the real tip I was going to give before we get back onto that. My thing for stopping the run is I don't give up the outside.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about inside. Run your trap, run your zone. It's very unlikely you're going to bust me up the middle for 80 yards, right? You might get 3 or 4 or 5. I'm just going to decide I can live with that. But I'm not letting you get the outside on these tosses and sweeps because it's very likely you can take one of those 70 or 80 yards. So my real tip would have been, I always, when I draft, I get a super duper strong, stout, 6'5", 380-pound D tackle with immense block shit and awareness to limit you going up the middle. And then I get D ends and I play a scheme that takes away the outside from you. And I invite you to run up the middle because I don't care if you do. Give shit 3 or 4 yards. Take it. If you want to have 18 to 19 play drives every play while going up the middle, knock yourself out. But going back to what I just said, when I need to stop that shit, I'm going to stop it.
Yeah.
Now, I'll let you have at it for the corners.
Yeah, I mean, awesome situation, right? My first answer to that is hit the lab, right? Hit the practice field, right? And pick a play with corner routes and, make some adjustments. That's how you stop it. But to be fair and give a real answer, one thing to stop the corner routes is the cloud flat, right? Cloud flat can stop a corner route. Now, and like you said, Ty, it'll stop the corner route, but you're open to something else. You see what I'm saying?
Let me stop you right there. You're right. The easy answer is cloud flat. If I'm throwing corners on you, Gates, and you play cloud flat, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flood that side with a table route, and I'm going to put that damn running back or that halfback on that table route straight to the flat or swing him left, and I'm going to make you choose. If you want to take the corner route, I'm going to take underneath. And I just bring it up because like me and you said, everything, there's an answer. There's no such thing as a one-stop shop. What do you want to stop?
What do you want to stop?
But now I'm just going to ding you to death underneath out of U-Trips week with table routes. and I'm gonna make you hard flat that shit, and then I'm gonna go back and take my corner.
Yeah, because unfortunately, the purple routes, the curl flats, they don't go all the way to the corner this year. They still don't go all the way to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? So where they look like they'll cover that corner route, eventually he'll break down because his second assignment is the flat, right? So even when he starts to break down, like you say, Ty, you put that guy on the table route or the out, whatever, to the swing to that side, he has to check it. And then he passes him on to the safety, and he has to come down and check the flat. So there's a good gap between the safety and when he drops down. So it's, you can stop the corner route, but then you have to understand that you're also giving up something on that backside. So, John, anything with the corner route? How to stop the corner route? Oh, John, you still there? I guess he's there, but he's not.
John, you hear us?
Can you hear us, John? John, you there? Well, I mean, we got his visual, but his audio is there.
Well, we'll let the visual rock because maybe his audio will kick in. Now, fun game within the game. And this is why I love adjustments, and I love getting into seasons 3, 4, and 5, and I love getting deep into games with adjustments. Okay, well, damn, Ty. Okay, well, if you want to hit me with a table route, well, what can I do to stop both? Okay, I'm going to come out in something, and I'm going to man up that running back on a table route, and I'm going to use you on that side of the field where you're throwing that corner to, and I'm going to do that. Now, am I saying that's going to stop everything? No, because if you're smart and you see what I'm doing, then you should go on the opposite end of the field and do something there, or come out and set with the running back on the left and the corner route on the left and a person on the left, like a pistol bunch tight end, and run a drag to the right. Now the user's got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the running back manned up. You got a deep purple shaded to the outside for the corner route, and now you got to take the drag. So ultimately, it's fun to have these conversations, but no matter what you do to stop one thing, it leaves you vulnerable to another thing. So you just have to pick and choose your battles and decide when enough is enough. That's why I said a lot of times when people are playing me, I let them think that they got something on me, and I'll let them keep doing it because it's not hurting me. Yeah. But when I need to stop or play and I decide that's enough of that shit, I'm taking that shit out.
Yeah, for sure. You need that third down.
Yeah.
You need that corner out all game. He just been like, yeah, keep hitting me with it. Just keep hitting me. Just keep hitting me.
6 yards. It's 6 yards. It's 6 yards. It's 6 yards. I trust my process. I'm good with that. Like you said, fourth quarter, tight game, 3rd and 6. You ain't doing that shit. You better find something.
I need the ball back. I need the ball back. For sure. For sure. I need the ball back. And it's third, he says 36. Oh, you hit me with that corner route. Guess what I know what you're doing. Corner route. And I'm going to get that. Yeah. So that's what I love about it. I love the chess match of it all, right? It's always the chess match. Yeah, I love the chess match. Anything before we, jump into this last play of the game? Anything you want to touch on? We're hitting the 2-hour mark here.
No, I think it was a good show. We had a great guest. We hit a lot of stuff. I don't have anything extra.
Right. Hold on. Let me see. John and Bullock will be back. John, you there?
Yeah, now I can actually hear you guys. I couldn't hear you guys.
There we go. So anything on the corner route? Did you want to add to anything on how to stop the corner route?
I suck at stopping the corner route. I have to use it. Yeah. But now that he said cloud flat, I'll remember that.
Oh, okay. There you go. You didn't even know that, huh?
But like I said, the thing with the cloud flat, it's perfect if you don't have a route underneath that. If you got a table route, a swing left route, that cornerback's stuck in no man's land because he's going to want to play both, and there's going to be enough hesitation where you could actually hit one or the other. So,
yeah, it's a high risk, high reward situation. Yeah. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's going to give up something. So it's something to keep in mind. So, John, this is we call it the last play. Give me using like our final thoughts or whatever. Before we get out of here, do you have any final words? Appreciate you jumping on real quick.
The only final word I have is stop giving the Bucks CPU games.
That's how I used to feel about Cletus forever, man. Come on, man. Still got like 5 computer games a season. All the awards are sewn up. So I feel you.
That's my only thing.
Joe said he lost 2 games to Gates and Paya. Both said they weren't going to let John Rose III beat him. So, Joe, I hate like guys like you, guys like Cletus, like guys like you, guys like Candy, guys with their run first mentalities. Bro, they have to have 1,000 yards. That's the only way you're gonna win. They're gonna have to run 1,000 yards. Like as John seen it too. It was like, yo, once Gurley got hurt, and every time he dropped back to throw the ball, he was on his back. Bro, I'm not letting you get it, you're gonna pick and choose. So John Rose is gonna have 500 yards to beat me. Because every time that your quarterback drops back, we're on him. We're on him. That's the formula that I built just specifically for Candyman. Like, yo, this is Candyman's formula. Like when I played him in the playoff game, he's like, oh, how you gonna stop Melvin Gordon? I'm not. He has to run the best game of his life because everything else was shutting down. I'm putting it all on his back. So Larry Rose, when we play week 17, you better have 50 carries because everything else is done. That's my mentality when I play those games.
Well, if you think about it, the game I just said it was a classic between me and Candy. I went into that game saying all that Melvin Gordon 300-yard shit, that shit ain't happening over here. Now, there was one run that he broke for like 60 yards that put Melvin Gordon at 100. If you took the one run out, I want to say he had like, I don't know, 15 to 16 carries for like 20 yards. Because I'm like you, when I decide I'm going to take one thing away, obviously I want to make you do the one thing you're uncomfortable doing.
Yeah.
So like, if you look at what John was saying, if John's not comfortable passing the ball and he wants to run the rock, I'm going to put everything I have resources-wise into stopping the run. And I'm going to make him beat me with the pass game. And if I lose, I can live with that. But I'm not going to let him run wild when that's what he wants to do.
Yeah. Just me, I know some guys, it's just, like I said, like, it's a problem. Like, I watched guys try to do that. And I watched Gurley break some insane tackles or Melvin Gordon get some crazy, I'm like, you have to do that all game. Like, he's going to have to do that all game because everything else is taken away. It's like pick your poison, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes, man. Any final? So, Buck, you want to say stop giving Buck CPU games. Todd, do you have anything?
I guess I would say it's money time. We're on the second half of the season now. I know, Gates, you like to divvy everything up in the quarters. This is money time. Seed is on the line. Playoff positions on the line. Like we said, especially in the NFC East, no quarters given, no quarters taken. It's tough. It's tight. You need to win as many games as you can win. Like, it really doesn't matter what happened in the first 8 games. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to have these cushions and buffers in these divisions, but you lose 2 or 3 games one way or the other. John loses 2 or 3 games, or I lose 2 or 3 games, and it's a whole different ball game. So you got to figure it out right here, right now, and you got to be consistent. You got to put together some W's.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like playtime is good. You either gonna make the playoff run and push and treat it as such, or you're gonna get left behind. We got 8 games left. These 8 games can determine a lot, especially for the guys who are like fighting for playoff spots. Ty, you can easily be in the first seed, or you can easily be in seed 5. You know what I'm saying? John, you could easily be whatever seed you are and end up in 2. Like, it's so crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what else is crazy about this time of the year. Me and Boone talked about this last year. So let's say hypothetically, I got to play John week 17. We don't play each other, but I'm making up a scenario. We don't want to lose seeding. We don't want to lose our spot. But how much do I want to show him a week or 2 before the playoffs? And that's why I said the second half of the season is where it gets crazy. Do I want to show him my full-on everything I'm bringing to the table? My favorite run plays, my favorite pass plays, my favorite defense, my defense for third down. Do I want to show him that and compromise that, or do I just want to give him that game and go, you know what? I'll lose the battle and win the war. That's why the second half of the season is always so interesting.
My last 3 games were Candyman, Ty, and Joe.
Okay, so what is your strategy? Thinking about what I just said, how do you approach those 3 games? Is it depending on where you're seated and what's happening?
I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna do what I've been doing, and then come playoffs, then we'll mix it up. But I need to see where I need to see. So, you know what I'm saying? I want the second seed. I want to chill week 1 in the playoffs. So I'm gonna show my game plan, and then when we get in the playoffs, then we'll figure it out from there. Because again, me losing them 3 games. Let's say I lose those 3 games. I already have 2 losses. I took a sim loss to Jets, right? And I lost to Dre. Now I lose them 3 games, not running my game plan. I have 5 losses. And somehow Jacksonville has 5 losses. I now might be out the playoffs. I ain't want to risk that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On some technicality, me trying to be maneuvering, thinking too far ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna play my game. So, well, that's all I got, man, for this episode. If you have anything, John.
No, sir.
Anything? Appreciate you jumping on here in the last second.
I did just look at my schedule though, and these last 8 games or I got the 49ers, Packers, Seahawks, Lions, Bears, Vikings, Jaguars, 49ers.
That's disgusting.
Oh my. Oh my. Lions, Bears, Packers, 49ers. Oh my. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lions, Tigers, Bears, oh my.
Right, for sure.
So immediately, John, what are your thoughts about that 8-game stretch?
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like you pretty much got your division locked up. It's just unfortunate you have to see how these other teams are played for you to find out where you rank at.
Well, I mean, I do got on this back half. I still got to play Mo again. I still got to play Truck again. And when you play division games, I don't really care what the records are for me. I already makes them difficult. I got Dre in that mix. I got Tick in that mix. So it's a mixed bag. It ain't nothing like what John's looking at.
No,
it's a mixed bag.
No, ain't nothing. John got to fight of his life. But let's say he wins. Let's say he just comes out of them 8 games at 6-2. He's so mentally ready for the playoffs.
Yes.
You know, he's a dangerous man to come playoffs because he's going to see these teams yet again, and he's already had the edge, or vice versa. If he loses these games, then he knows how to fix and correct whatever. So, John, man, we're going to be watching you, man. You will now have a target on your back. You join the Ernest box, you get a target on your back. You know what I'm saying? You know, so. One question before we do get out of here, John. I want to ask. It's really just a conversation stir. Who are your top 5? We'll give you the most difficult so far in the league. Give me your top
5. You got Cletus. Dre. I've never played Candyman, so I can't really judge off that. The Bucks. I mean, we played twice. First game, I lost 45-42, and it was his first game or second game in the league. And I went up big. I was like, all right, we got another Bucks owner who's terrible. And then I realized he was actually a lot better than what he was showed in the first quarter. I say he's in my top 5 for toughest. And then I throw in Boone. And then I played you, and I put you up there. You went down and didn't give up. Forced me to lose that in the fourth quarter. Even though I did have a guy running straight down the middle wide open that I just blew. That defensive lineman caught me. So I threw it to triangle instead of circle. Circle was cruising down the middle open.
Yeah. I mean, you had to throw it. I mean, we made you uncomfortable. We just had to throw it. So that was the whole plan. You fought hard, though. So we have some comments. I guess Ty got some comments. It says it's different for some of those because Gates lives in certain formations, so it's hard to notice a scheme from the same formations. Don Joe, that's a scheme, right? In my opinion, that's the definition of a scheme. I could live in that formation and do things like that. Ty, we had set the tone saying Gates, he doesn't like me anymore. Man. And I understand, unfortunately, set the tone. You're 1-7, man. Unfortunately, you've been digressing. Like your progress has been decreasing, bro, since year 1. And year 3, and unfortunately, your record hasn't improved. So you want to get it together, later. It's just that simple. There's no love lost, and we're division opponents. So I don't want you to do good anyway. I do want you to compete. So, I know he has a thing against Boone, always saying Boone ain't that great, but Boone's 8-0, and here you're 1-7. So, that's it. Other than that, man, I'm pretty much it. That's how anything. I'm done.
I'm good, sir.
Well, John, man, I appreciate you joining. Ty, I appreciate you taking out your football Sunday. I know how you feel about doing the shows on Sunday. And I appreciate the guys who tuned in. It was very active in the chat this week, which I like. And again, if anybody has anything to say or wanted to attest or debate that we said here in the owner's box, I'm more than welcome to bring you on. Use it all for motivation. And good luck for these next 8 weeks, man. I know we tuned in. This will be a lot of good football. We'll see how it pans out. So I guess we'll link up again next week. Should be like the 4th quarter of the season, right? Should be like the last 4 games, depending on how advanced it goes. So.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is if there's any topics, anything anybody wants to discuss, I mean, put them in the chat with a hashtag owner's box. Hey, next time you guys do want to talk about this, hashtag owner's box or whatever.
Yeah.
The show is interactive and it's for the league. It's not for us to hear each other talk. So at the end of the day, if there's stuff you guys want to discuss, let us know. Just hashtag it in the group chat and we'll bring it up and we'll mull it over.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Marc Gates, I'm signing out. Ty signing out. And John the Bullet signing out. You guys have a good one.
Late.